nothing.
Hi, this is Will James. We are live at the Wilson Street Houses Encampment, sometimes referred to as the Guerrilla Garden. It is being cleared today. This is a notice from Steven Parray saying that this site is being cleared today.
By November 1st, they got to be out of there. They vacate the land. November 1st.
Could I interview you?
Yes.
Sure. If you could just introduce yourself, please.
My name is Joseph P. Buchanan. I'm president of the Black Political Action Committee and also president of the Fund for Black Political Progress. I'm here today because I've been here coming back and forth, helping out some of the homeless that are in these encampments. I work along with Alex to make sure that they get the resources that they need. And for myself, I don't see any other housing agencies here except for the one on Cranston Street, the Mission. The Mission is always here feeding people, cleaning up the yard. And I was wondering about places like the House of Hope, Crossroads, and these other organizations that get these millions of dollars. Why haven't they housed people? Why hasn't the governor of the state of Rhode Island with $1.2 billion put funds aside for low-income housing? Not affordable housing, because affordable housing is not affordable. We need low-income housing to house our people. I'm not talking about public housing, I'm talking about low-income housing. That's what we need. We do not need affordable housing. They're using that word to hoodwink the people in the community because they know that we can't afford affordable housing. That's for the influx of newcomers coming into town, which means them rich elitists. I don't care what color they are. They're coming in here gentrifying our neighborhood, taking it over, making sure we don't have enough room for ourselves. So what happens? Some of our people live in these horrendous conditions. We have so-called organizations like the House of Hope, Crossroads, who are supposed to be out there helping the community. They were supposed to be out here serving the community. They're supposed to be out there to make sure that they lose their job. Because if there's no more homelessness, they didn't have to find new jobs. So in my opinion, I believe that they're allowing the homelessness to exist because they're getting funding and they're getting money to stay on their jobs. They're not trying to cure the ills of our community and of the homeless community.
Have you heard about like the Echo Village thing that they tried to do recently?
They could try to come in our community without asking us. And we don't need people to live in our Echo Village where they don't have any bathrooms, any running water, anything. I was at that first meeting when they invited the community in there. They didn't have no lights. It was all dusty. And we had to go outside because it was so atrocious with the conditions that the House of Hope put our community in, that we had to go to a meeting and we went outside and then it pissed off everybody. So of course it wouldn't be completed. The mission wouldn't be completed because House of Hope doesn't have any respect for our community.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. That's Alex right there. She's there just been doing everything.
So if just you have a chance, like, could you just tell me like what happened before I got here? Like, when did you arrive to the scene?
Yep.
Oh, could you introduce yourself? Sorry.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm the CEO and Executive Director of Gather Together United as One. So we arrived yesterday originally. I mean, we've been here for months. But yesterday, 2 days ago, the city had contacted every homeless agency to let them know that the people had to be moved out by November 1st. So then in turn, I guess I was the only one who decided to actually, come down and support them to do that so nobody was displaced or whatever. Last night, I took out all the elderly people out of here and they're now in hotels. And then from today till the end of the week, we'll have everybody, the rest of the 13 people here, we're going to put them in hotels for hopefully a month so then rent relief can pick up. And I will contact with the congressional delegation because I want to see where it actually says in the line item that they have to be in these rooms for 30 days for them to actually receive the rent relief. At the end of the day, we're a startup org. We've been around for a year. We have done so much, but all these other agencies will come here to, you know, get the press and this and that. But why isn't nobody else helping them? Why are the people not with them? Why are the people? Why can't they support them in what their needs are? This board should not have to be the only board doing the work. I'm not saying other work's not being done in other areas, right? But in regards to this isn't a normal encampment. These people did not put themselves here, right? The Homeless Bill of Rights Defense Committee put these people here, right? That's the truth. Everybody knows, right? Whether the money was embezzled, not embezzled, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they're people. They need homes, they need food, they need clothing, and who's going to work together to get it done?
So, you were talking about like things that the governor has access to, like the money.
I don't. So in my contact with him, nobody's offered me a dime. Okay, the RFPs that have gone out for Wilson Street, I had some serious issues with them, so I had asked for amendments to be made. They did file the amendments, but no new RFP has been issued. So if no new RFP is being issued, how are people going to get what they need other than the community stepping up to do the job?
Right. So is that something also you're calling for though, like the governor to use COVID funds to address?
Yeah, immediately. If they're American Rescue dollars, who are they rescuing? Because they're rescuing themselves, not the people. Nobody's being rescued.
Water, you guys.
What's the total number of people you're here at the moment, including the people you've already put in the bill? I'm just trying to get a map. Like
on my list as of, you know, the numbers keep changing. So it's 14. The 3 elderly folks went yesterday, and the rest of the folks will be out by Thursday.
Honestly,
hopefully by Thursday, as long as everything goes through with their IDs and all that good stuff, they will be out.
Right. So
it would be nice if other agencies would step up and do the work with us instead of just leaving the grassroots orgs to do all the work.
Right. So is that what you're referring to, like them literally being here right now, making sure people have IDs, things like that?
No, yeah, they're here, but nobody's doing anything. I mean, I just sent 6 people to go get IDs. So we've made an arrangement with the city where now they're able to go. They get their IDs immediately. They don't need any other documentation, just so we can get them in these hotels.
Right.
But they're just sitting in there conversating, but nobody's doing anything. You know, maybe offer them a gift card for some food, maybe some transportation, bus pass, anything. Anything would be nice.
Okay. So are they literally there?
Yeah.
Okay.
The agencies, but the people aren't there. The people aren't there. They're all right here.
Right.
Right? And they'll all tell you.
House of Hope's in there, and there's a few people in there.
All right. I'll try to talk to them.
And this is my thing.
So in terms of the developer has actually offered to support them, believe it or not. And the other agencies denied his money. Ain't that nice? So yeah, that's what's going on.
Okay.
So I believe the trash removal was a misunderstanding.
They'll share what you think.
Basically, he was supposed to start moving the stuff over by Thursday, and his workers, he wasn't here, so the workers but he is going to start removing the trash and putting it into the dumpsters so they don't have to sit in the filth.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Talk to the people in there too.
All right, God bless you.
Steve's also going to be here, and he'd probably like to talk to you as well. Hi. All right, so a lot of different stories here. People saying that they're disappointed with how some homeless organizations like House of Hope have served this community. House of Hope tried to build a village called Echo Village in the community a while ago. It was not received well. People said it was too close to some schools and such, but it would have provided housing for homeless people inside in somewhat safe conditions. So I'm going to try to talk to some people now.
Yeah, it's the prize.
How you been, brother?
Hi, I'm Will, James from Uprise. Is someone from House of...
James.
Yeah.
James, I'm thinking you was I thought you was Mary Kay Harris's cameraman. I'm so sorry,
No,
bro. I
I'm
know
not
you. I know. I'm so sorry. He's not with Mary Kay Harris. He's out there.
Yeah. Is someone from House of Hope here?
Who sent you over there?
I came out of probably
Who sent you over there? Steve or
The
Alex?
group chat.
The group. So he's with us. He's with us. Yeah. He came from the group chat. Come in.
Is that camera on right
It is. It's live streaming. Yeah, I just want to ask you. So, if you could introduce yourself, please. I'm with Uprise RI, Will James.
I'm Sarah Malucci from House of Hope.
So there seems to be some like people are honestly criticizing House of Hope very openly. Like they're screaming at. You can probably hear it. Like what do you feel like they're saying that you've done nothing? I'm not really sure that's true. If you could just like talk about what things you have done in this area.
Yeah. Our outreach team, among other providers, including folks out there, have been coming to this camp pretty regularly since it first arrived here. And I'm not going to speak specifically about our work with anyone in particular, but we have a team of about 10 case managers, so we've had a few that have really focused their energy on the folks staying here.
Right. And then I believe you also tried to build something called Echo Village recently. If I'm remembering, it didn't seem like that was going to happen. Is it still?
It's still in the works. We're just waiting to locate a property to build it on.
Okay, so the issue is just like that location. It's not gonna. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. What is your perception of what's going on today here? When was the organization like told of what was happening here?
We were made aware that the Providence police was going to be coming today to issue a notice to vacate by November 1st. So we just came by in case any of the folks staying here wanted any support. It can be intimidating to be approached by law enforcement. So,
Right. I'm also sorry if I'm making you feel a little bit uncomfortable. I know it's just like
No
pulling up
worries.
on people is a lot. I know.
no worries.
It's definitely,
no
I'm
worries.
even like uncomfortable like walking in, but I have to kind of do it. I know you probably there's like certain things like you have to say a certain way, but like what could have been? I don't know how to say this. Without saying that you could have done more, is there something that could have been done more for this community, or something that the organization wanted to do or wish was done in a different way?
For
Or, like-
specifically the people in this camp, or for folks experiencing homelessness in general?
I guess both, if you want to take that either way.
I'll start general.
Okay.
We're in a crisis statewide that we've never seen before, as with both shelter and housing. So to give context, all of our homeless shelters in the state are functionally full right now, and as of this week there were over 1,000 people on the statewide shelter waiting list. So, and in order to be on the wait list you need to be experiencing homelessness. So we know that there are over 1,000 people waiting to get into shelter, and then on top of that we're experiencing a housing shortage on top of it. Housing that's actually affordable, and I hesitate to say affordable housing because that's a term that means something a bit different, but most of the folks we work with have no income or disability income, or are working at minimum wage and can't afford market rent that's just been skyrocketing. And we have a handful of housing subsidies in our state. Many of our clients have housing vouchers and just can't find a landlord that will take it. So House of Hope's been here in this camp as well as everywhere else across the state as best as we can, along with many other partners that are doing this work. And it's a statewide shortage.
Right. Is there like some sort of? I know that the governor has access to COVID relief money. I think the
American Rescue Plan
Act. Is that something you are talking about in your organization or with him, or do you know that he's talking about related to like low-income housing?
Yeah. A number of homeless service providers have been in touch with him in his office about just the crisis situation that we're in right now, and we've been pretty specific about how much money we'd need to
be housed. That was the reason why this was all put together. There's people already that were on housing lists all throughout the state, and the point of this was to get people housed, not in hotels, but to actually have people in their own homes.
Do you imagine that money would come from like the American Rescue Plan, or just the state generally? Like you want the state to step in and like
The state should have. This has been going on since April. It's been going on. The state's been knowing about this since April. Mary Kay Harris was one of the first people to have the police come over here and shut this operation down. And we fought very hard for it to stay open so people wouldn't just be people wouldn't be constricted to just the streets and their regular lifestyle of living. At least they were able to get a tent, some type of food, and some type of shelter, and be safe from the streets.
So you do and I mean it's kind of obvious to me, but I have to kind of ask, like, do you generally believe that this was good? Like,
No, this was not planned out properly. The end result was not. It's not a good plan because I guess they're selling half of this property to others across the street and to get money for hotels. I guess there was a certain amount of money given to someone that was already here working, and they was gonna make money to put people in hotels and then put people. But there was no plan. There's still no plan, and these people were sold out of their safe. And that's what happened.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
What I do like to add is this is supposed to be a culminative project for all community to put their hands in and help the community that's been dealing with the same things for a long period of time, and to see the community to still leave people the way that they are without any help is very disgusting. And to see that these people be and it's like I don't think people realize what really happened here today, especially the campers. I don't think they realize that they got sold out of their right. I don't think that they look at it as House of Hope not doing what they were supposed to do. And I feel like that too. I do feel like House of Hope could have did a lot better, but I do feel as though it's a culmination of a lot of things. I feel like COVID is a main reason why people are in this situation. Poverty is another reason why people are in this situation, and just the lack of care from the city. Like House of Hope can only do so much. Like this is a city problem that the city turns a blind eye to. So it's a bigger responsibility to politicians. We just had police come here and give an eviction notice for people that don't have nowhere to go. So it's more than just a House of Hope problem. This is a whole city problem.
Yeah. Why does there seem to be like some really big disconnect between like people saying, "Oh, House of Hope has done nothing," and then like they're trying to do some things? Like I don't like. Was it just like I'm trying to understand why there's such like a big
disconnect. I really think the disconnect is it's on both parties. Mostly the city. It's on mostly the city, but House of Hope, I don't feel as though they understand being homeless and what truly we need as people that are homeless. Like I understand what they're trying to do, and I think they're doing as much as they can. At the same time, like they can only do so much. There's a crisis that the city needs to step up in. This is a city problem. House of Hope is only one organization. This is a whole city issue. They're doing what they can do. I don't feel as though they can really do anything. Like they have money to build and put people places, but there's no place to put them. There's no place for them to go. Like there's no land for them to build on. They can have all this money in the world, but if they can't build on anything, where are they gonna go? You know, so it's like it's a city problem. This is not the first time that this has been going on. This has been going on for a long time, and I feel like the city needs to step in and do what they need to do, from politicians to police to community. This is a whole city problem, and we can only do so much. House of Hope can only do so much. Like, what do we expect them to do? Like, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm having difficulty understanding what people, and I guess I can ask more directly, but I'm wondering if there's just like a miscommunication about what House of Hope said they would do, and then what they actually can.
I don't feel as though House of Hope said that they would do anything. What I know House of Hope to do, I know that they was here the whole time trying the best that they can do.
Which is usually like support services for people who are experiencing addiction and sort of, right? Isn't that, I'm just trying to understand.
And me being honest, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. There was a lot of there was a lot of situations where people wanted to get high. You feel what I'm saying? House of Hope wanted to put people through detox and get them housed that way, and people didn't want to go that route. People and I understand it. Like, put people in homes. Like, I get it. Like, I understand it. But you don't want to put people in homes and they're getting housed. They getting high. They get in their homes. They're gonna lose it. They're not gonna take the proper precautions to keep their house. And it's like, there should be a lot more resources that were put into this project. And I don't want to put all the blame on House of Hope. Like, Greg started this. Greg was the one that put this situation together and tried to bring in as many people as he could, and couldn't really do anything. And House of Hope, they can only do so much, you know?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, there's a problem that all of us need to pitch in on. All of us need to help in this situation. From politicians to police to organizations to the community. This is a whole community issue.
Do you feel that there were some positive aspects in terms of just like the garden, or like just people knowing about some people were fighting?
There was many positive lights in this situation. The main positive light is to show the rest of Providence what our communities are going through. That was a great positive light, and to see the action taken by so many different organizations, even though it didn't end where it ended, there was so many helping hands involved in this, and to see certain people come from the community and give food, give tents, all types of things, but the main problem is people need to be housed.
Right.
That's the main problem, and it's like they're not housed. We started this, and it's back to the drawing board. Everybody got to go back. Yeah, they're gonna be in hotels, but there's no determination on how long they're gonna stay in there, to the point where they got to be back in the streets again. And it's more than just a House of Hope problem. This is like I said, this is a city issue.
Is there something you would do differently if you were to start a camp, if someone wanted to start a camp again?
The main thing I would do differently is organize a lot better. I would sit down with many different organizations and put together a plan. Like, that was the main thing that was never brought to the forefront to anybody in this encampment or anybody that was working in this encampment. There was
Would
never
that be
a
like
plan.
a plan that talks about what the overarching goal is, who we're going to contact, like the governor, like what exactly the money's going to be used for,
Definitely.
like communication plans on social media, like that stuff?
Not just that, just like all the helping hands that are involved. Like, there was, I don't even think people spoke to the people that own this land. You know what I'm saying? There was never any communication all the way around the board. There was never a plan, so people just went freestyling and
I think on that part you were okay, because it was difficult to identify for like months, but yeah.
There was never a plan.
Yeah, I think I might try. Thank you so much. I appreciate
no
it.
problem
I really
at all.
appreciate it. I think
No
I might try
problem.
to talk to some of the people. They're still here. I wish there was a guy, but he walked away. So hi again, this is Will James with Uprise RI. We are at the Guerrilla Garden, the houses encampment on Wilson Street. It's being cleared today. They stopped halfway through because there was a miscommunication about what day it's going to be fully cleared. but people are going to be removed by November 1st. I'm not sure if there was any police officers here today. I can ask that question in a second. But it was mostly construction workers tearing up the property.
What's that? I know you. I spoke with you.
Oh, man. How you doing, brother?
Hey, sorry, I'm back. I just had to change people. Is there anything you'd like to say to the live stream?
I think I already said it. You have me when I was on.
No, I
Just
didn't.
talk to him. It's alright. He's here to support you too.
I don't know who's there to support
So
who.
can you just, they're a little like conscious.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, basically they don't. House of Hope don't do nothing. They only come here to just check up on us. The only one who's been doing something is Alex, Mary Kay, and her team. No one has done nothing for us. They're the only ones who've been making sure that we're in a hotel in a safe place and warm. So House of Hope ain't doing a lot of nothing. So I need the city to step up and do what they need to do to get us up out of here. And that's all I gotta say.
Thank you.
We got all this funding, but they can't do nothing. Like, come on, bro. Kick in your money. Stop using the money for brand new trucks like that Dodge Ram like that. Maybe that Honda over there. Man. How about that?
This Steve right there.
You see this guy here?
Like for nothing, right?
All they're here for publicity and clout, bro. That's all they're here. They're here for what? What y'all here for, dog? No fucking check, no nothing. Like, they only come here to make sure we're okay and check the living area. Like, fuck out of here. Whole house of Hope, my man do it. That's the type of way we go head up with anybody. That's how I feel. My loyalty is with Alex and oh, now you making sure we need water? Nah, we need a check. We need funding. We need funding. Oh, yeah? If you ain't got funding, you don't want your water. Fuck your water.
We should try to get House of Hope before they leave. They're in those two cars.
Is that the backstory?
Not much more than the one flyer. So what did you say again?
No, I'm saying, do you have the backstory?
White car.
White car.
We got, Alex has got the backstory.
Yeah. So I haven't noticed. Hey, I don't know if you're like on the clock, but could you try to talk to Steve Alquist before you leave?
I am on the clock, but
Okay.
I can. Where
All
is
right.
he?
He's right there. I tried to get him over to you, but someone just pulled him away.
I will pull over on the side street.
Okay, thank you.
Can you send him my
Yeah,
way?
I will send him over to you. Thanks. I'm gonna wrap the live stream up. Tried to talk to everyone here. People are really upset. The houses people here really want support. They want to be in houses. The entire point of this camp is very, very clear. It's just a temporary thing to get people into houses. Probably we should get word from the mayor onto what their opinion on this camp is. They said they were going to try to help out. People in government, city government are aware of it, and the problem hasn't been solved, so people are looking for answers now. Thank you so much. This is Will James.